Fall is a great time to start thinking about bringing your plants indoors, and what about a greenhouse for your yard? I'm with Michelle from Solex, and a couple weeks ago we were out and actually putting one of these up, and now we're going to be talking about decorating them on the outside and filling them up on the inside. Thanks for having us today.
Thank you.
Now this is a little kind of a hook that you can decorate and put on the outside and put plants on.
Yeah, it's just called a potlatch, and a simple clay pot just fits right on the outside.
Wow, that's very cute. And it just adds so much to the building and kind of fits in more into your landscape. Well, let's go on in and you can show us some of the projects that we can do inside.
Okay.
Now, Michelle, let's pretend that I just bought this. And so what is the next step?
Well, the first thing you'd want to do after you built it is to make sure that it's tied down. Greenhouses are a big sale if they're not, so you want to make sure that they're properly anchored into the ground in some way. And this is one example of a tie-down kit.
Excellent. Okay, and then I have to find out where I'm going to put these plants.
Right. One thing a lot of people don't think about is bench frames. So benches allow you to use the vertical space, not just the floor space.
And now we're going into fall, winter, so we have to think about lighting.
Yes. Most plants are going to need a little bit more light than we have here in the Northwest. And so if you can give them supplemental light in the morning or in the evening, it really makes a big difference in their growth.
And I see that you have different types here, and I guess they would be for different specific plants or different budgets?
Exactly. This light here is a really basic light. It's a clip light. You could use it in your home on a specific plant, or if you had a specific plant in the greenhouse that needed more light, you could use it for that. It's a really good way to start.
And this one looks like the Cadillac version.
This is a new technology. It's called T5 lighting, and this particular light has 4 bulbs, and it produces a lot of light with very little power, so it's inexpensive to operate.
And I know that this one over here is waterproof, so that one would be good for underneath the shelf, so that if it does get water on it, it doesn't hurt it.
Exactly. And this has 2 bulbs rather than 4, so it's a little bit less powerful, but it's also more economical.
And I noticed that these 2 plants are almost the same, but they're not.
They're not. They actually were planted at exactly the same time, and they both went in the greenhouse last year to overwinter. They were side by side, but this particular plant was under a grow light, and this one was not.
Markedly different. So that's the importance of that. So that can show you right there that you need lighting.
You do. In fact, they were both outside all summer and never caught up to each other.
And so also you probably want a timer so that you don't have to come out here all the time and keep flipping on in and off lightings.
Exactly. A timer is really helpful, and something like this is a nice timer because it's got 2 different outlets, and you can set it for 7 days, and you can have multiple settings per day. So you could run multiple lights on multiple schedules.
Oh, convenient. Also, it's going to be colder, so we'll need some kind of heating. And there's different kinds of heaters, I'm sure, to use.
There are quite a few, depending exactly on what you want to do. And one really easy way to start is with something like this. It's a seedling heat mat, and it's going to give the heat directly to the roots of the plant where they need it the most.
Very specific again.
Very specific, but with something like this, you don't need to heat the entire greenhouse if you have a few things you're trying to winter over and they're a little sensitive.
That makes sense.
A lot of people, though, like to grow vegetables like lettuce or some of the cool crops, and something like that, a small space heater really can go a long way in keeping that greenhouse at that 40-degree nighttime temperature that you need.
That's true. Now, I know that there's all this information, and I'm new to it, and I know that you have this really great book that I should get to.
We do. It's called The Greenhouse Gardener's Companion, and it is essentially the Greenhouse Gardener's Bible. It is packed full with information.
That looks like it's a great book, and I know that I've looked through it before and gotten a lot of things answered, and it's just a great question and answer kind of book, and would solve a lot of problems for people and the beginners.
It does, and it's really nice too that it gives planting schedules, so it'll tell you what you can plant each month depending on how warm or cool you're going to keep your greenhouse.
Oh, this is just so much fascination and a nice new hobby for everyone. If you have any other questions, you can come out to Solex or in Brooks on Brookline Road, or go on to the GardenTime.tv and click on this week's show, and we'll click you over to your website, and you can have any questions answered there.
That'd be great.
Well, thank you so much, and this is just a great idea for fall, winter, for any homeowner to have.
Thank you.